And I recently finished translating, after 2 years, a poem by Imam al-Busiri, which is 160 lines. I retranslated it 3 times. Literally, I translated it first time and sent it to somebody who has edited it for me. It came back with a lot of changes. It forced me to go back to a second time, and I went through it again. And then the last time, I completely just retranslated it. And at a certain point, I realized that if anybody's read Jorge Borges, who was a surrealistic Argentinian writer, and one of the motifs that he often explores is the eternal recurrence of events. And I realized that I could be in a Borgesian story where I would just keep translating this thing for infinity, because there was always a new possible meaning. There was always a word that could be something else. If you look in a book of synonyms, you'll find for the same word, you'll find several different possibilities. Trying to understand exactly what that poet meant when he said this. And then the possible syntactical changes. Quran is Arabic. It is, Inna anzalnahu Quranan Arabiyya. We have given this in Arabic. It's an Arabic Quran. كَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاهُ قُرْآنًا عَرَبِيًّا. We made this an Arabic Quran. And that's it. That's why the Quran is Arabi. And you do not call a translation Quran. It's not even called Quran. The meaning of Quran is lafz munazzal lil-i'jaz lil-ta'abbud bil-Arabi. It's uttered, it was revealed, incapacitates anybody in imitating it, and it was sent to worship Allah. That's the Quran, and it's Arabic. So that's very important. And this is why there are many different interpretations of the Bible. If you look at the New American Version, New Standard American Version, and then look at King James, they're completely different. Sometimes the meanings are completely different. Completely different. So what do you follow? And who determines what it means? There are obviously multiple interpretations of the Quran. But if you've completed the 15 sciences, or the 12, according to Ibn Juzay, needed to master the Quran before you can interpret it, once you've completed those sciences, and your interpretation is congruous with the Arabic language and does not contradict anything the Prophet ﷺ said, it's an acceptable interpretation. And so the Quran is open to multiple interpretations, always has been, and it always will be. He mentions that the Quran was translated into Persian early on, which is true, but they were more interlinear notes. They were actually not done for the masses, they were done for the rulers. So the original interpretations of the Quran were actually not given to the mass of people. And it was the same idea that the Catholic Church held. They kept the Bible in Latin and did not translate it into vernaculars until Lutheranism, Protestantism began that process, because they felt that you should master certain sciences before you read the Bible, because you'll misinterpret it. So the idea was, don't put it out there for the common people. And traditionally, that idea was understood in Islam, that you can read the Quran for worship, but you should not attempt to interpret it until you've mastered certain sciences. And then also the idea that the Quran has, he mentions 7 meanings. He's referring to a hadith about أُنزِلَ الْقُرْآنَ عَلَى سَبْعَةِ أَحْرُفٍ. The Quran was revealed in 7 different letters. And there's a lot of debate about what exactly that means. But there is a verse a hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ said, every ayah has an inward and outward and an overseer. So the idea is that there are meanings. You become an esoterist when you only accept the inward meaning. You become an exoterist when you only accept the outward meaning. The Sunni Muslims have always believed that the Quran has both inward and outward meanings, and neither should be rejected.